we're gonna start on the ground. So hip flow, and you'll just be kind of in a seated position with both legs out in front. And we'll kind of start with these 90-90s, just dropping those knees down to one side. And you can have your hands on the ground. You can be like laying back, bring it back to the middle, and then dropping those knees down. Or again, you can keep your hands up, just kind of rotate side to side. Maybe adding a little twist with your shoulders when you get to that end spot. And whatever feels good. And again, maybe hands up, maybe hands down, maybe some of both. Kind of like to do some of both. Trying to get those knees all the way to the floor. And your feet are nice and wide, so there's plenty of room to just drop your knees down. One knee will go between your legs and one will go off to the side. And yeah, pushing those knees to the ground. Okay, and it's cool if you're kind of migrating around, but maybe recenter, and we'll start back at the beginning, so feet out wide, dropping those knees down to one side. Let's say you went to the right, and now you're gonna come up into a kneeling position with both knees down. So just squeeze your glutes up, bring your hips up into this kind of double kneeling position. Maybe a good squeeze of your glutes to bring your hips forward, and then dropping your butt back down. And again, if you want your hands down, that's great. Switching, so back to the middle, dropping your knees down to the left, and then squeezing your glutes or pushing yourself up into this kneeling position, but still squeezing your glutes at the top to get your hips forward. And then nice and controlled back to the ground and switch back. We'll just go back and forth at your own pace. And yeah, maybe some with your hands on the ground, and maybe some with your hands up. Feeling it out. All right.
It's been so fun doing the YouTube videos because it's been a long time since I've actually talked to y'all, but I feel like I've been having conversations with you every day because it's the two of you, me and Gina.
Yeah, and sometimes it's Heidi.
Yeah.
But it lately has been, yeah, just kind of two of us lately. Or Slim will pop in for like a minute.
Well, Matt, I just love that. That's like the coolest thing.
Yeah.
Not my workouts alone when you all are there.
Yeah. Like Lexi will text me and she'll be like, "Oh, I got a good little update on your shoulder today during the workout." Like, oh yeah, awesome. Okay, and so we'll start back at the beginning. And like, I don't know, it's also funny now because I'm totally recording this and gonna post it. So it's like, anyway, just like, hi out there listening to us talking again later. Okay, so we're gonna start where we started again. In this seated position, you're gonna drop your knees off to the side, and then you're gonna squeeze up into this kneeling position. And if you went to the right, you're gonna take your left leg, your trailing leg, and again, if you want your hands on the ground, that's fine. You're gonna bring it around, so now you're in this half kneeling position, one foot on the ground, one knee on the ground. And then you'll put it back where it came from. And you'll be in this double kneeling position, and then butt down and switch. And then you gotta lean forward a little bit, push those hips forward in that kneeling position, might feel good. Okay, and then the next time you get up to this kneeling position, you're gonna lean forward, bring your hips forward, but then you're gonna send your hips back and straighten out your front leg and kind of bow forward to get that hamstring stretch. And then you'll come back up into this kneeling position and then switch sides. And so you just kind of add in that little hamstring stretch at the top. So again, like leaning forward, bringing your hips forward, but then sending your hips back, straightening out your front leg and bowing forward a little bit. Ow! I feel like my hamstring is always so tight. And we'll do it this way a couple times. Okay, I'm gonna do one more. This is my last one here. And then we'll come back to that starting position one more time. And this time, after you drop your knees to one side, so we'll go to the right, you're gonna just leave your right leg here, and you're gonna kind of keep leaning around to the right and straighten out your left leg as you rock all the way forward, and you'll kind of end up in this like pigeon stretch. But then you'll just kind of rock back to where you came from, and as your weight comes back into your butt, you'll kind of bring those feet back to the starting position, and you'll be able to just kind of keep rocking to that other side, sending that left knee down, right leg straight back, and then you'll be in a pigeon stretch on the other side. And you can kind of hold it here for a second if you want, but then you can just kind of rock back right onto the other side. All right, next time you rock back, you're gonna kind of sit on your butt and you're gonna send one leg out, one leg bend. So you're kind of in this like figure four hamstring stretch. But you're gonna keep your weight back and you're just gonna reach all the way to the right with that right leg. And then as you come back, you're gonna bend it towards your left leg and then straighten out your other leg. So you're gonna kind of reach out, and then as you swing it back, you'll kick and switch legs. So it's kind of like a reach out and then kick and switch. And you can maybe see if you can do these, picking your hands up also. Some control through your hips. Sorry, picking your hands up. Okay, we'll do like one more on each side. All right. And then next, we're gonna just kind of roll on over, so you'll be hands and knees. And you're gonna bring one leg up. So you have toes, knee up, one leg, and then we'll twist. Bring that hand back down, and then we'll sit into plank, and then we'll switch legs, so now your other leg comes up, and we'll add that twist. We'll just kind of alternate back and forth, so into plank, and then switching legs up, twist, back to plank. We're just going to rotate through these a few times. All right, last one on each side. And then you're going to step both feet up. So you'll kind of be in this deep squat with your hands on the ground. And if you need to bring your hips up high, that's fine. But bring them as low as you're comfortable. And then we'll twist one arm up. Bring that hand back down. Other arm up. Hand back down. And we'll just do a few more of these. All right, you go ahead and plant your hands and send your hips up high. Kind of give your quads a break and stretch out your hamstrings a little bit. Okay, but then we're going to bring your butt back down, so you're in this kind of squatting position with your hands down, and then we'll bring both hands up and stand up, and then we'll bow forward. We'll do some of these bootstraps, and then you'll drop your butt so your hands are on the ground. You're in that squat. Arm reach up, stand up, and then just bowing forward, stretching that low back hamstrings, and then squatting down, keeping your weight in your heels. Reach up, stand up. Let's do a couple more of these on your own. All right, okay, you can kind of take a moment so you can get any little extra stretching that feels like you want right now, or grab some water. All right. Next, we're going to go through some movements 30 seconds at a time. And so the first one is going to be a windmill. And so you're going to take a stance that's a little bit wider than your shoulders. And if you're going to do like a windmill to the right, you're going to open your right toes up a little bit, but your left toes are still kind of pointing like roughly straight ahead. And then you're going to send your hips back. Your legs will be just slightly bent, but mostly straight. And so your hips go back and you're kind of like bowing towards that right side. So if we're doing a windmill to the right, you're kind of like letting your hips back and then like spilling, like sometimes people will talk about like your hips being like a bowl of water, and so you want to like spill the water to the right side. And keeping your back nice and flat and your shoulders square forward, you're going to kind of lean forward with your top as well. So if you're going to the right, your left arm comes up to the sky, right arm goes down towards your right foot. And so your hips are kind of turned to the right, but your chest is trying to stay forward as you do your windmill. We haven't done these in a while. And we'll do them all to one direction to start for 30 seconds. And if you don't really want to incorporate your arms, you can just keep your hands on your hips as you do this, and that can be a challenge too, because like your shoulders are trying to stay forward, but your hips are trying to kind of bow a little bit to the right. And so we'll just do these for 30 more seconds. I know you probably already got a few in, but I didn't start the clock yet. And again, just like slightly bending your knees, and you kind of make like a T with your shoulders if you got your arms up. I'm going to do these with my arms down though. All right, 10 more seconds. It kind of really opens up your hips. You should feel this like in your hamstrings and maybe in your back with the twist a little bit, but 3, 2, 1. Okay, we'll switch sides. So you gotta kind of twist your toes a little bit so that we can kind of let our hips spill to the left, but again, trying to keep your shoulders straight ahead. More seconds. All right, 3, 2, 1. And now we're just going to go into some knee hugs. And so we'll alternate knee hugs, just hugging that knee up to your chest. More seconds for our knee hugs. All right, 3, 2, 1. Now you're going to have your hands on your head, and you're going to bring one knee up at a time, and you're going to give it like a twist. So it's kind of like a standing bicycle. But you don't really need to get a full touch elbow to knee. But just be twisting with the top and pulling that knee up, but not with a hug. So it's kind of like a little standing bicycle crunch. But again, you don't need to like bend down to get your knee to touch your elbow. It's fine if you're not touching. Okay, we're going to go back to our windmills. In 3, 2, 1. So that wide stance. And I'm going to the right first. Again, trying to like keep your shoulders square as your hips turn to the right. Three, 2, 1. And we'll switch sides. So you're trying to open up that toe in the direction that your hips are going to really help. Be able to open up your hips. And keep those shoulders square straight ahead. More seconds for our windmills. And this time, instead of knee hugs, we're just going to do high knees in place. And so you can go nice and slow, kind of just marching your knees up. 3, 2, 1. So just kind of like some high knees in place at like a march. Or if you're ready and you want to go a little faster, you totally can. You're just going to pull those knees up to your chest. And we're still going to do the standing bicycle just like last time. 10 more seconds for these. And yeah, marching or running, wherever you're feeling right now is great. 3, 2, 1. So now we'll have our hands on our head. And now pulling that knee up, definitely kind of slow. Don't want to be running these ones. And just getting that little twist and getting that knee up as high as you can. There. Okay, and we'll do one more time. 3, 2, 1. So back to those windmills. Three, 2, 1. Switch sides on your windmills. Three, 2, 1. Okay, if you're ready, do faster high knees for this last round. But again, only if you're ready. You can go back to knee hugs if that's what you're ready for right now. Get those knees up high, knees up, toes up. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, we'll go back to that standing bicycle. More seconds for these. Every time I think my knee is going to hit my elbow, and then most of the time it misses. 3, 2, 1. All right, nice work with that. Okay, so today we're going to use our step. We're going to do some step ups. We're going to do some other things, but we're just going to do like one 30-minute thing for the rest of the workout today. So kind of one of those like longer sweaty workouts. But it probably won't be, hopefully it will be fun.
I'm gonna go get my sit up, so I'll be gone for a few minutes, but
Okay.
be back fine. Okay.
We'll miss you while you're gone. Cool, so and then we'll also use your weights. I'm gonna use a weight in each hand for this. But all of these you could do if you're using a barbell or just one item. You can do, there's options for all of it. And so we'll start with some walking deadlifts. And so those are the ones where we take a small step and then we hinge forward and then another step. And each one counts. And again, you can do these holding a weight on each side. So you're in the suitcase position. And you'll just hinge forward, keeping that back flat, shoulder blades down and back, nice tight midline. And again, it's okay if we're not getting these all the way to the floor, just trying to maintain that nice flat back the whole way through. And if you're using a weight out in front, you can just kind of hold it in front of you, and you'll take that step. And like, any kind of your cinder block, your barbell, whatever you're working with, you can just hold out in front and still just kind of one step at a time go through your walking deadlifts. And then the next one we're going to do is an upright row. And so you'll just be standing tall, and you'll just pull your elbow up to bring that weight up to your chest. And so if you have both hands on one weight, that's fine. Just upright row like that, keeping that weight close. Not really using your hips or anything like that. Everything stays nice and tight through your legs and your hips. But you're just keeping that weight close to your body and pulling it up as high as you can get it to your chest. Also, maybe not as high as you can get it. If you can get it to like your collarbone, that's high enough. You don't need to go higher than that. And then after that, so walking deadlifts, upright rows, and then we're also going to do some hang cleans. And so you'll kind of get a little dip, and then you'll almost do that upright row, but the fast version, and then catch it in that front rack. And then you'll bring it back down to the hang position, just starting at your hips, a little dip, catching in the front rack. And so cleans will be next, and then again, if you got one weight, you just hold out in front. You know, whatever you're working with, just a little dip, upright row, and then catch it in that front rack. And if it's something that you're having a hard time like turning around in your hands as you pull up to this front rack position, you could just do a high pull and not stop it in the front rack. So you keep your grip on it the way it is, and you'll just kind of pull it up and then let it come back down. So you don't have to worry about turning it around and catching it at the top. But you can still get that little dip, and you're kind of using your hips to drive into that high pull to make it a little bit different than your upright row, which you wouldn't be using your hips for. And then that's when our step-ups are going to come in. And for this time, maybe I don't think we did step-ups last week, but it was the week before that we did a lot of step-ups. And we did them with no weight. And so this time you're going to bring your weight on your step-ups with you. And so you can hold it at your chest, you can hold 2 weights at your side, however you want to, but you're just going to bring your weights with you on your step-ups today. And we're going to do 16. So you know, okay, wherever you're holding it, each one counts. That would be 1, and then 2. And so bringing your weight with you on your step-ups today for 16 reps. So hopefully, I know sometimes we do step-ups like 30 at a time, so weighting them today will make them tough, but hopefully we're not doing as many as we normally do. You don't have to do all 16 right now, you can just do a couple. And then the last thing we're going to do is, we've kind of been trying to think of different things to do instead of running because it's icy and gross outside, and so I think we did like some side shuffles last week. And so this time I was thinking of just like some like crossover steps, like you're doing a grapevine or karaoke or whatever. But if you have like a ladder and you want to do like passes through a ladder and you want to mix up what you're doing like that, or if you want to just do like other kind of like footwork things, you can kind of just try to keep moving and do some footworky type, keeping your feet moving thing if you want. Or if you don't want to think about it and try to decide, you could just stick to little toe taps. And you could just kind of do these jogging in place, tapping your item, if you'd rather just kind of do something like that, or you don't have the space to get a ladder out or do crossover steps or anything. Okay, so we're gonna have 3 minutes for each set, and there's not a rest period. The kind of like rest period is that like toe taps time. So that's like pick something accessible. So even if it's like a little ladder pattern that you have, like make sure you can kind of do it at a nice slow and easy pace, but you can kind of stay on your toes and try to practice being like light and balanced and just try to keep moving at the end of each set. And we'll go from that right back into the beginning of every set. So there's not going to be a rest period after those. And so it's going to start with those walking deadlifts. And so we're going to do 16 walking deadlifts. And again, you can play around with the reps. Like if the first time we get through it and you don't even get to the end, you can definitely drop some reps down, which, you know, we're all working with different weights and things like that. So we all might do different numbers. So that's totally fine. But you're going to have 3 minutes to do 16 of your walking deadlifts. And so that's like 8 per side. And again, holding your weights at your side or one out in front, however you want to weight them. Or you don't even have to weight them. That's fine. And then we're going to do 8 alternating upright rows. So it'd be like 1, 2, the seesaw style. I think I forgot to mention that. Where when we have like one up top, the other, they're going to move at the same time but into opposite places. And again, if you just have one item, then you can just do 8 with both arms at a time. That's fine too. And it'll be 8. So 1, 2, 3, each one counts, or 1, 2, 3, that's fine. And then 8 of our cleans, which again you can do with 2 items or just one hand, 2 hands on one item. And again, if you need to, if you can't really catch your item in that front rack, it's okay to just high pull it. So you can just kind of high pull it up here, but you're using your hips now as opposed to the upright row when you were not. And then it finishes with those step ups. And again, you can like keep them in the front rack and do your step ups here. Or if you want, you can keep them at your side. And 16 step ups as well. So 16 deadlifts, 8 upright row, 8 cleans, and then 16 step ups again. And remember, when we're doing like alternating reps like step ups and deadlifts, each rep counts. And we'll finish each set with some karaoke back and forth or dumbbell taps or something like that. Okay, we're gonna do 10 rounds. And so this is just kind of our like conditioning, sweaty, yeah, power endurance workout today. Okay, it's gonna start with our walking deadlifts. I'm gonna try to use the remote on this clock. I think I remember complaining about this to y'all a really long time ago, but I still haven't been able to order a replacement. And it's really decided. Sometimes I just have to be really nice to it. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, we'll just starting with our walking deadlifts in 3, 2, 1, go! So 16 of these or 8 per side. And then it's going to be your upright row. I'm just going to do these with the 8s. And then your cleans. And then finishing with those weighted step-ups. Seconds left. All right, 3, 2, 1, back to the top. So it's those walking deads, your upright row, your cleans, and then your sit-ups. More seconds. Ten seconds. Okay, back to the top. 3, 2, 1. Go, walking deadlifts. More seconds. Ten more seconds. Whew. All right, back to our walking deads. 3, 2, 1, go! 30 seconds. Seconds. Back to those walking deads. 3, 2, 1, go! More seconds, and we're halfway. Just keep hanging on. You're marching up a mountain right now. You totally got it. Just keep breathing, keep moving. More seconds, and we're back to those walking deadlifts. 3, 2, 1, go! 30 more seconds. Back to those walking deads. 3, 2, 1, go. Just keep cruising, everyone. Bye. So good to see you.
Nice to see you, Molly. Bye, y'all.
Bye, Q. Seconds. Seconds. Back to those walking deads. 3, 2, 1, go. seconds. Seconds. 2 more if there's time. 3, 2, 1, go. Seconds. Doing so good. 1 set left. 10 seconds. Last set, best set. 3, 2, 1. Walking deads. 30 seconds. Seconds. 3, 2, 1. Rest. Whew. Just take some deep breaths. Yeah, big in through your nose, out through your mouth. And then we'll decompress with a little stretching. So we'll grab this figure 4 stretch and just lean into that outstretched leg. It's okay to kind of round your low back a little bit and just allow your chest to sink towards this leg. Taking those nice deep breaths. And try to relax this outstretched leg. You're not pointing your toe or anything, your foot is just totally relaxed. All right, sitting up tall. Bring those knees in and switch legs. We'll fall, sink towards that outstretched leg. Taking those nice deep breaths. Again, this leg is relaxed as possible. Sit up tall again. Pull those knees up, and we'll go ahead and lie down on your back. And we'll just pull those, use your hands under your knees, and then kind of interlace them if you can, or just hug your under thighs. Just kind of pull your knees up to your chest. You can kind of pin your shoulder blades down and back and just get a light grab here. And try to just relax with your hips and your low back. And then we'll bring both your knees together and drop them off to one side. Let's say your right side. And try to leave your shoulders flat on the ground. bring those knees back to center, and we'll drop them down to the other side. And again, shoulders stay flat and try to keep those knees together. And then just melt into the ground. Try to relax. Any other stretches that you need. Thanks for joining. I love all the friends who watch on YouTube, and especially when you send me little messages so I know you're out there doing them. I love it so much. Thanks for watching my workouts, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.